Here's a shocking statistic. 59% of executives are looking for employment in other companies that are more AI forward thinking. They want an AI infrastructure that's more mature and more utilized, and they want to be able to have a bigger impact on the world. But a lot of executive teams are making these 5 mistakes when it comes to AI note takers. This may sound like a boring topic, an AI note taker. It's just like a cutesy little tool we use all the time. But if we use it strategically, we can help our business grow and work more effectively. So here's mistake number 1, using different tools across different departments. It's key to consolidate on a platform. If marketing has one tool that they like to use, sales has a different one, the technology department's like, I'm not even going to go to meetings. That doesn't really help collaborate with the cross department that need to be resolved. So it's key to have one tool for the entire company. This makes it easier to collaborate and easier to support as well. I worked with one client, they had 4 different departments and 3 different AI note taker tools that they used. This was very scattered and not very consolidated and not a good way to help their company get to the next level. For instance, when your sales team finds a product issue and it doesn't get to the people that can make the fix, then your product is broken and it continues to be broken. You're not just missing information, but you're missing that advantage to fix that product and serve your customers better. Mistake number 2, letting each team make their own decision when it comes to the tool. You don't want a top-down approach where the CEO comes in and says, today we're using note taker XYZ. That's just going to ruffle feathers. But at the same time, if you consolidate, then you have much better support from the IT department because they have to support that product. You have much better collaboration and you have a much better cohesive approach on how you take notes and how you use that information to grow your business or to solve problems. Letting each team decide their own tool, it sounds democratic, but it actually creates chaos. The hidden cost for doing that is you become a bottleneck. The tools that you use limit decisions that can be made. The key of business is to make decisions quickly and decisively and make your decision and go forward. Mistake number 3, only recording some meetings, the important ones. Well, how do you know what's going to be important? There's some meetings that should not be recorded. Anything where you need to maintain confidentiality or something private, anything where you want someone to have a safe space to speak, that shouldn't be recorded. Everything else, you should have a standard and a guideline on what meetings should be recorded, and most of them should be. A lot of times I'll be in a meeting and something says something really quick and it was key and I didn't really catch the full details of it because we were moving on to the next thing. And then my AI note taker reminds me about that with the meeting summary. So it's a great tool, great use of an AI note taker and why we should record all meetings. Mistake number 4, not connecting your AI note taker to critical business systems. This is really where you can find a lot of value. When you take your notes and you connect them to your systems, then you can make decisions based upon them and you can support your customers better. You can deliver better product or service. It can really benefit the company and your customers as well. Think of this as a way to get the information to the people who can make the difference. For instance, if there's a meeting with a group of customers and they're disappointed with the SaaS offering you have, they make specific requests during a call. You can track those requests, then you can integrate it with your ticketing system, and then you can prioritize that and have the developers make the fix. Mistake number 5, treating it as a productivity tool instead of a competitive advantage. The mistake here is thinking that a note taker is just information, but you can have competitive intelligence based on of that information, and that gives you a competitive advantage. You got to think of how your competitors could be using this as well. Are they using that and maximizing all the information they have to make better decisions? Or are you going to step ahead and be able to do that before they can? First to market is always great. If you can get a feature out before someone else, if you can provide some service that your customers have been asking for, but you weren't able to capture that, that's a competitive advantage. It's a different way of thinking about the same thing. Okay, last one, here's a bonus. Attending all meetings just because you get an invite. If I'm invited to a meeting and I need the information from the meeting, I'll just send my AA note taker and then I'll have the information at the end. I don't have to be at the meeting. I had an executive one time, they were invited to all sorts of meetings, they didn't need to be there. And eventually they said, why don't you have the meeting without me? If there's something critical for the meeting to move forward and you need an answer right then and there, hit me up on Teams. That's a great great way to remove yourself from a meeting. When I work with executives and try to help them get more productive, the first thing I do is look at their calendar. What meetings do you absolutely have to be there? Do you need to be at this one? How about that one? Let's take half the meetings off, because most of the time an executive doesn't need to be at every single meeting. Those are the mistakes. Now let's talk a little bit on how to fix those. For instance, building department buy-in is important when choosing a tool. A top-down approach doesn't work anymore. You can do it, but you'll drive some people away. So I would not advise you to do that. Instead, make a short list of tools you want to consider. This is true for any decision that you need to make that affects multiple departments. For instance, a CRM. It's very important for sales and for marketing, but in different ways. Instead of saying we're using CRM A or we're using CRM B, let's try to get the requirements. And the what is that we need to take AI notes and we need to consolidate those and we need to integrate those with our tools. The how is which note taker we're going to use and how are we going to integrate them. Go back to your departments and talk it through with them, make them go in a room and come back in an hour and have one solution that they're going to pick. Have each department voice their concerns about other things, but at the end of the day, you need to come up with one, not two, not three, one. The reality is most executives are in way too many meetings. I have a calculator that I created. You put my engineering brain to use. Who doesn't love a good Excel spreadsheet? Accountants and IT people, I guess. So the calculator will help you calculate ROI from attending less meetings and not having to do meeting prep, not having to do a meeting retrospective or something like that, a review after the meeting. Feel free to download that. There's a link in the description below. Also, if you need help implementing AI in your business, whether it's a note taker or an agent or something like that, I have a link in the description below as well to book some time with me. I'd love to see what you're working on and how I could help. Thanks for watching. Feel free to subscribe, like the video, share it, tell your friends.